How are ya? Fibromyalgia looks like any other autoimmune condition, according to researchers. Autoimmune diseases are often triggered by trauma or infection. I don't know about you, but the number of sinus infections that I've endured over my lifetime as an adult, at least until I was put on Allegra, might be considered infections, but not to mention all of the other negative things that's happened to me over my lifetime. There are systemic features in fibromyalgia that include fatigue, fever, diffuse stiffness, myalgias, and muscle weakness, loss of appetite, and symptoms related to organ involvement, such as the involvement of both peripheral and the central nervous system, glandular involvement with dry eyes and dry mouth, gastrointestinal symptoms, or urinary manifestations are a few. I've previously spoken about the potential autoimmunity in fibro and the neuroinflammation that results. Or does neuroinflammation begin and then autoimmunity thereafter? Researchers aren't sure. But today I want to dig into this connection and the genes that are believed to be involved. Genetic differences are part of the connection that predisposes us to autoimmunity. But just because you have a family member with fibromyalgia doesn't mean that you'll get it. But this link is still not definitively proven. For many years, researchers have been studying the genetic link to fibromyalgia. Genes involved in immunological pathways connected to interleukin 17 and to type 1 interferon signatures, which are both cytokines, were modulated in studies, suggesting that autoimmunity plays a role in the disease. We know that autoantibodies have been detected in fibromyalgia cases. We know an autoantibody by the term antinuclear antibodies, or ANA. Have any of you had an ANA test? They mistake normal, healthy proteins in the body as dangerous or unwanted proteins and attack them. So I wonder how many of us have a higher than normal ANA test. Not as high as a person might get that alarms a rheumatologist. My last ANA test was 116. But since my doctor couldn't find a reason for the abnormal ANA, she disregarded it, or she was waiting for more information to come out. I don't know. It might link my higher ANA test to an autoimmune condition. Because they say that healthy individuals can have an abnormal ANA as well, that leaves doctors to running a bunch of blood work to try to find the answer to it, as well as asking us a million questions about our health. Well, if that's not confusing enough, anti-nuclear antibodies and antithyroid peroxidase are found in 30% of cases of fibromyalgia. In the past, research failed to discover damage from the immune system. Inflammation as part of the immune and healing process, and autoantibodies, which are immune system proteins, prevented the labeling of fibromyalgia as an autoimmune disease. Now, fibro is considered a complex multi-system illness, and evidence has found damage through small fiber neuropathy, inflammation in the brain and spinal fluid, and nerves of the spinal column, and several autoantibodies. Hashimoto's thyroiditis and Sjogren's syndrome are two overlapping conditions that are often found in fibromyalgia. But small fiber neuropathy, rheumatoid arthritis, and lupus are also overlapping conditions found in fibro, and others. Unusually high autoantibodies were found in people with fibro, such as serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter that sends chemical messages between nerve cells in the brain and throughout the body. It is known that serotonin is dysregulated in the body. About 73 to 74% of people with fibromyalgia had antibodies against serotonin compared to healthy individuals. Its function plays a role in our mood, sleep, digestion, bone health, blood clotting, nausea, wound healing, and desire. Autoantibody hormones, like those coming from the thyroid gland, as seen in Hashimoto's disease, are found in 19% of people with fibromyalgia. Also, adrenal glands produce our stress hormone, cortisol, which is shown to be imbalanced. Steroid hormones like progesterone, testosterone, and estrogen are also found to be imbalanced, which create dry skin, headaches, hot flashes, night sweats, irregular menstrual cycles, low libido, and other symptoms. And then there's gangliosides. They're a type of molecule in the brain that has been found to have antibodies against gangliosides in 74% of people with fibromyalgia. They're highly abundant in everyone in our nervous system and provide cell communication to protect us against immune attacks. But autoantibodies against gangliosides can target neuronal cells and neutralize their ability to protect us. Phospholipids are also molecules that provide a protective barrier around cells and regulate cellular processes. About 54% of individuals with fibromyalgia have higher amounts. The smooth muscles are located in organs and are under involuntary control. 55% of people with fibro were found to have autoantibodies in the smooth muscle. Involuntary smooth muscles are found in the intestines, stomach, uterus, and blood vessels. But the heart muscles are also considered smooth muscles. They are under the control of the autonomic nervous system. The striated muscles are skeletal muscles that are under voluntary control, like our biceps, triceps, abdominal muscles, glute muscles, etc. We make them move. About 40% of people with fibromyalgia had autoantibodies in the striated muscles. Our striated muscles work together to accomplish tasks like reaching for something or walking. Moisture-producing glands like those autoantibodies found in Sjogren's syndrome that line organs and inside your body were found in 32% of people with fibromyalgia. A lack of moisture production in certain glands of the body results. This can include saliva and tear production, The lungs, bowel, and other organs are less often affected by Sjogren's. So not everyone has every autoantibody, but these statistics are difficult to disregard. You might suffer with Hashimoto's or Sjogren's, and yet I might not have either one. There's so much more for me to research and share with y'all. I hope you hang in there with me as I work through all of the studies that are out there regarding fibromyalgia. I send you gentle hugs and support. Love you. The years as an adult and to type 1 interferon and help and chemical messages, steroid phospholipid, involuntary smooth estriated abdominal of individual about